Linus Tech Tips coverage of CES 2016 is brought to you by Squarespace. Build it beautiful. Here in the LG monitor booth, we've got a few things to get to before the main event. So first, we've got the 27UD88. This is a creator-oriented 27-inch 4K display, and the big thing here is not necessarily the 99% sRGB, the, well, obviously 4K IPS panel, but rather the fact that it features USB Type-C connectivity. So the laptop next to it, which is the LG Gram, a pretty cool piece of technology in its own right, is not only outputting to the monitor at 4K resolution through that single Type-C connector, but it is also being charged by the power plug that the monitor is using from the wall. Pretty freaking cool. I should take a moment and actually talk about the Gram very briefly here. This thing is sick. It's like MacBook Air type thin, but a whole other level of light. It's 2.2 pounds with a Core i5 or Core i7 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 256 or 512 gig SSD. Pricing is not available yet, but I will definitely be watching this one pretty closely. Which now brings us over to the 27UD68. This is a more gaming-oriented model. Unfortunately, it's still only 60 Hertz, but thanks to its 4K resolution, that's pretty much all you're going to be able to drive with a modern display interface anyway. So what makes this puppy gaming is the fact that it features AMD FreeSync technology. So with a supported AMD GPU, you're not going to have to deal with the lag or tearing associated with more traditional solutions for when the GPU is outputting a frame rate that is not synchronous with the refresh rate of the display. That leads us over to the centerpiece of the show here, the 34UC98. It's fairly similar to LG's previous 97 with a couple of key differences. So it's still 3440 by 1440, 34-inch, 21 by 9 aspect ratio. It's got a couple of HDMI inputs, a DisplayPort input. It's got a USB 3 hub. It's got Thunderbolt pass-through. That's actually really cool. Thunderbolt 2 pass-through for daisy chaining. But the main differences are the ID. It now features a metal stand that actually looks and feels quite a bit better. The fact that it now has height adjust, something that was on the business model but not the more consumer-oriented one. And finally, it's got AMD FreeSync, which is better for eliminating tearing in games within that FreeSync variable refresh rate window. Which leads us finally to the centerpiece of the monitor display here. 3 of those FreeSync-enabled gaming monitors in a, what would you call this, like mega uber ultra-wide setup, with the theme around it being ultra-wide dream setup. So if you guys weren't paying attention like entirely over the last couple of months, we worked with LG on a really, really cool, like almost like a festival that they did around ultra-wide monitors. They gave away like 30 of their 34-inch ultra-wides. They gave away 3 $10,000 Ream setups, and that whole thing actually concluded not that long ago with me doing a live stream of the build for Ryland, who ended up winning ours. There were a couple of other influencers, including Jehovah's Witness, a gamer, and Unbox Therapy, an unboxer slash lifestyle expert. Man, that guy is a lot cooler than me, unfortunately. And the finalized videos are finally up. So if you haven't had enough of checking out LG's monitors and the whole ultra-wide concept here with our booth coverage, then make sure you check out the link in the video description so you can see those finalists showing off their finished setups after all this time. So thanks for watching this video from CES 2016. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips so you don't miss any of our awesome content. And I want to also give a shout out to Squarespace for allowing us to be here at the show this year.